As long as it's recorded.
It's recording, and we have, I think on the recording, it's going to have the picture. But it's just not showing us up here tonight, so as long as nobody minds whether or not you look at yourselves throughout the meeting.
I prefer not.
Prefer not. I like the setup.
All right,
We're okay.
next case, we'll call the morning meeting to order for date of February 28th, 2024. Roll call of members, please.
General,
Here.
Kai,
Here.
Leaders.
Here.
Anderson,
Here.
Herder.
Yes.
Members are present. Bill had a chance to read the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes or make corrections?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Now I'll read our opening statement. Public hearing will be conducted pursuant to the board's rules of procedure as adopted May 26, 1988. We will first hear the report of the planning director on the detailed information and observations regarding the request, if not done so in written form prior to the hearing. Next, we will take testimony of the applicant and his or her witnesses. Upon completion of the applicant's testimony, I'll call upon members of the audience wishing to make a statement concerning the request. Persons in favor of the request shall be heard first, followed by those who oppose it. At any time during the presentation of testimony, the members of the board may interrupt to ask questions or make comments on what has been said. Upon completion of all testimony, the applicant will be allowed to make a closing statement to the board. Upon completion of the applicant's closing statement, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing on the request. After the public hearing has been closed, we will hear the recommendation, if any, of the planning director, and upon completion of all discussion, I will entertain a motion of the members of the board regarding the disposition of the application. Each speaker addressing this board shall step forward to the podium, state their name and address before proceeding with their testimony. I would ask that you spell your last name. This board shall not be bound by strict rules of evidence, but does reserve the right to exclude evidence or testimony that may be deemed to be irrelevant, immaterial, incompetent, or unduly repetitious. As chairman, I will rule on all questions relating to the admissibility of evidence, which may be overruled by the majority of the board. The board may grant continuance in case for good cause shown to interested party who has entered his appearance. The board may, at any time, request a continuance of a hearing for the purpose of giving further notice, taking further evidence, or gathering further information, touring the proposed site, or for other such reasons the board may find sufficient. In such case, we will state its specific reasons for the continuance and set a date, time, and place when the matter will be continued. All official actions of this board will be made at public hearing by motion made, seconded, and polling of the membership. If conditions are imposed, such conditions shall be included in the motion or amended hereto. Our final decision will be prepared in writing and will be part of the public record of this board. Once this board has reached a decision on the case, that decision shall be final. Section 335.18 of the Iowa Code states, any person or persons, jointly or severally, aggravated by any decision of the Board of Adjustment under the provisions of Chapter 335, or any taxpayer or any officer, department, board, or bureau of the county may present to the court of record a petition duly verified, setting forth that such a decision was illegal in whole or in part, specifying the grounds of legality. Such petition shall be presented to the court within 30 days after the filing of the decision in the office of the board. Upon hearing that, I would ask for a motion to open the public hearing on ZV-2024-02.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Public hearing is now open. I would ask that John Butterball come up to the podium, please, and you can kind of state your case for us.
Butterbaugh. Last name is spelled Buttercaughg. And I'm the property owner of 23003 Three Bridge Road. So I know I've submitted quite a few pieces of paper and it may not be relevant, but I wanted to, basically, show you the kind of the lay of the land out there and, how it looks. There's a reason we did what we did, but, I guess I just start with, 4 years ago, after running the business here in town for 20 years, I retired. And we decided that, we were gonna do some traveling by RV. And so at that time, we decided to, for a pad to park the RV on, and I looked, there was no permits required for concrete, so, we did it in a way to push it back as far, from being visible from the road as we could. I poured like over 40 feet of pad there. I didn't need that much, but also we held it close to, there's a wetland area that's actually that part of my property is Council Bluffs. My house sits on Trainer. That's what some of the stuff in there. So I just wanted you to know how my lot laid out. But in that Council Bluffs area, mostly that's a wetland area with a big culvert that goes underneath Three Bridge Road there. And so we did that 4 years ago, poured that, and then we changed a couple RVs, and this last fall, my wife decided we needed a bigger one. So, so we've gone through like covering our RVs with cloth and stuff that those tear and those don't provide any weight. A restriction, I mean, if it snows on it, it's got weight on it and it's not very good protection. So I wanted to build a RV cover for our RV. And I'm not very smart about permits, but I looked, and what I saw in the permit looked like the permit was for an attached, if I was gonna attach it to a building, that I didn't pay attention that it was a freestanding one, needed a permit. So I went ahead and did it. And then I got a letter, right around the first of the year that said somebody had complained that it was too close to the road or property line. And I needed to submit a permit. And so I put the permit together, even though it was kind of hard for me to measurements and stuff, because it still looked like it was supposed to be for attached structures, but that's just on me. And so, I met with Alex, who actually was nice enough to come out. He had done the measurements, and, he came out and showed me what the situation was. And so there's pictures in there of, what he was showing me was the one north corner of the RV covers, 60.5 feet from the property line that goes across through that wetland area. And and that's sheet number 10. And so as a crow flies, I'm 60.5 feet from the property line. And then 11, I took his and I imposed, if I was 75 feet, it's about a little over in the middle of the concrete pad that I have poured there. So from that point, it's about 14.5 feet back, and that's what I was asking for a variance. Sheet number 12 shows the different pictures, and I thought I'd give you as much as I could without you having to go out there and see what was going on. But all of that wetland and it's a wooded area and stuff. And in the summertime when it's leafed out, you can't see any of that early from the road. You can come down the road from the west. And the other side of it is have a RV set there anyway. And so in my mind, the RV cover doesn't really aesthetically change a lot of things. Then I had Alex help me with a couple other things. Page 13 and 14, I had him measure and show me from the center of my driveway where the property line crosses the driveway, how far back the cover set. And you see those are over 80 feet. So from an accessibility perspective, I am back over 75 feet. As a crow flies, through an area that gives no access to that area is less. But access from accessibility, I'm over 80 feet. Then I had, let's see, a couple other things that I wanted to give you. My neighbor came over to me and said, "Hey, I got your mail." And I'd received his mail before, and he said, "Well, you brought my mail to me." He said, "I got this letter." He says it's addressed to me, but inside it's your information. And that was his letter letting him know of this meeting. Nice guy and stuff. And so he said, well, so I explained to him what was going on. And he said, well, it doesn't bother me. He says, in fact, he said, I'll write a little note for you to let me know that, and what, to everybody, but it's my neighbor right to the west of me. And then I did take some other pictures to show you what is between the RV cover and the road. There's a pretty good stream of water and stuff in there. And I understand that it's not 75 feet through that area, but there's no way you're going through there anyway. Then to move it, aesthetically, I don't think it would, I've tried to hold it into the trees, so it was more aesthetically pleasing than if it was back up in my yard more. And the other way, I'd have to go quite a bit back into my yard going east to finally reach that 75 feet. So I guess what I'm hoping is that you see what I see and understand why I'm asking for the variance and stuff. I guess, leave things the way they are, so. But if you guys have any questions on any of this, I'd be more than happy to try to answer them.
Where's the next closest neighbor?
Well, the closest neighbor is that one right next to me.
Greg.
He's got about 180-foot frontage.
Yeah.
And so then that, can't remember his name, but then he has quite a few acres west of him. Then the next, across the road, I think is, I'm gonna call it deserted. It's not, it's a farmhouse and stuff. And all the property is for sale there, but nobody lives there.
Fennel? Is it Fennel?
Could be, yeah. And then there's across the street from the neighbor on the west of me, across the street from him, is somebody else that would be close enough. So those are the 4 properties that are within that 500 feet.
Shirley Pritchard's old property. Know that one?
Which one?
Shirley Pritchard, remember Shirley?
Oh, yeah, across the street.
Her place, she's just a little bit to the west.
Yeah.
She doesn't own it anymore, but she used to. Helton?
I don't know how many letters were sent out. I'm assuming that would have been just the 3 or 4 within that 500 feet.
Anybody else have any questions?
Have you figured out what it would take to move this?
Oh. Well, quite a bit. I mean, I'd have to pour more pad either to get way east. So that would be quite a bit. I'm guessing it'd probably double the
Can you save
I do have a picture that here that was provided to me to let's see.
Can you save any of it?
You know, I don't know how well that would disassemble. I know at first I was told, well, I'd have to take it down or move it, and it sounded kind of like the same thing to me. I don't know how much of it would
But
be
the concrete,
reusable and stuff.
How
'Cause
about the concrete, can any of that be reused?
it could be used. I mean, the cover is 14 feet wide. And the reason the cover is 14 feet wide, because when I had the pour made, that's what I made the pour, was 14 feet. This, I think I had just a second, I have too much paperwork here. So it just depends on where you take the measurements from. These are from that direction.
Yeah.
It's it's showing kind of what I had in there before, that 75 feet, puts me right about the middle of the pad, and of course. I have the last
This
step.
part would have to go back here.
Yes. And then, this one gives probably another to show you that to get 75 feet from the front of the cover, I'd have to go this way. So double up on here, I can go forward.
It's always harder to ask forgiveness than permission, and especially when somebody complains.
Well, and you know, and I understand that I feel bad that I didn't do the, permit first, but like I said, my interpretation of it, and I just show you because I'm not.
Did you have a permit?
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't get the permit until the complaint. So when I got the permit, what a lot of it shows, and you probably know what these look like. Okay. So for me, it all looked like it was, the permit was for attached covers to a building with footings and everything. And so I didn't apply because this was a freestanding. And there's going to be an RV there regardless if I have a cover or not. And so the other side of it is does the cover take away or be that big of a deal since there's gonna be an RV sitting there anyway? I don't know if that makes sense, but.
Yeah.
All right, if no one else has any questions, I think we're gonna have a seat, John.
Okay.
Appreciate your time.
All right, well, I appreciate you guys.
There's no one else to speak in favor or opposed to. Yes, I would ask someone to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Move to close public hearing?
Second.
We move in second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Public hearing is now closed. This time we ask for the staff's recommendation.
As John kind of said, I mean, we had Alex go out and take the measurement for it, and in your packet, I had Pam go back and kind of put a 75, what a 75-foot buffer would look like across the front of the property, so you could envision on, you know, how much more concrete would need to be poured for the cover to kind of be shifted up there. Because in an instance like this, yeah, I don't have any good way to say, I mean, there's not really major topography issues or anything else there when you look down through the criteria of what it would be like to grant a variance like this before. I mean, we've had people remove 8 feet off the front of a house, and we've also not allowed homes to be, I mean, you know, actual homes to be constructed when we thought we had justifiable topography things for it. So in this instance on there, I mean, my recommendation would be that we have to deny the application, just based on the evidence that we have so far.
All right, if there's any other discussion on the members, or if not, someone want to make a motion on the application.
If it was just a concrete pad, there's no permitting process for that, right?
Correct.
It could
Flat work,
remain.
no permits.
And as far as the RV sitting there, there's no kind of a setback where you have to have your RV a certain distance from the road or anything like that, right?
We have, I mean, there's some parking pieces
Yeah.
that go along with it. But no, I mean, he's correct in what he states. I mean, he can park his RV there without the cover.
Okay.
It is just one of those, Three Ridge Road happens to be one of those heavily traveled roads. And I mean, even as described, when the complaint came in, of course, the leaves are off the tree. People see something and they're like, well, hey, I was told I couldn't put anything there. So we start getting those phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
What does the infrastructure of the carport look like? Is this just a carport shelter or does it have electricity, lighting? I mean, how built out is it?
I believe it's just a cardboard structure, no electricity or anything down to it.
Are the beams wood,
No, it's all metal.
metal?
It's all steel.
The carport would really tall. These are hard to hear.
It's strictly to protect the RV.
What?
It's strictly to protect the RV, is what it is.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance with some notes. I would say no modifications to the structure would be a note, and that would include for damage or decay. So what I'm trying to portray with my motion is that I don't want it to turn into a shed. I don't want like, the sun's hitting it from the south, so we're adding paneling on the south side. And then it's cold on the north, we're adding paneling on the north, and all of a sudden we've got a shed that's 60.5 feet from the road. And if it blows over in a storm and you have to rebuild it, then my note is intended to say you need to put it where it belongs. I don't have a super strong feeling either way, but that's the motion that I'll, so.
Does anybody want to second that, or they want to?
I'll second it
different
and then we can talk about it.
Okay. Guess we do like a verbal vote, or how do we do on the,
You can discuss the motion now
okay,
as, and you
And
can.
you call for the vote if you want to
Okay.
vote.
all right,
Yeah, you could add to the motion, you could take away from, you could see if, Austin would take away from his motion or crawl for the vote for it. But either way, yeah, it's open for discussion now if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, I guess I just don't see how we can approve it. I mean, I've been sitting on this board for a long time and, you know, as much as I would like to say yes to this man, because I don't think it's gonna hurt anybody. It's not, you know, it's blocked by the trees and such, but it is the code. I don't see that it's a hardship, any kind of a hardship, you know, to have to move it. Like Matt said, I've seen us in the past. People have built a garage on their house and it was too far out front and they had to completely remove the garage and start over. So I just feel like if we do approve it, we could be setting ourselves up for, you know, a precedence and more people coming in, and I just don't want to do that. That's my thoughts. Me personally, I don't care one way or another, but it is the code and I just feel like we'd be opening ourselves up.
I guess since it has been moved and seconded, we could have a roll call vote and see how it goes, I guess, unless someone wants to make a new motion, or I don't know how that, for sure, the procedure on that.
I say call for the vote, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
You're the
Do you
chairman.
have something you want to say?
No, I really.
Guess we'll call for a vote, Matt.
Okay.
Motion that has been forwarded and seconded.
So we will go, further.
So the vote is yes to approve his motion.
Correct. It would be yes to approve his motion or nay to not.
Yep.
Nay, I'll say nay.
Anderson,
Hey,
Leaders,
Nay.
right?
Yes.
Jennifer.
Nay. All right, so
All right, I'd make a motion to deny the application.
Second,
we moved in second, move for a roll call vote.
Ty,
Okay.
Leaders,
Yes.
Anderson,
yes,
Herder,
yes,
Jennifer.
Yes. Motion has been denied. Thank you for coming tonight.
Yeah, okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So Director, is there any other business for Matt?
No other business. I'm not sure. We will have a meeting next month. So I think we have 2 cases on that one. And it could be just a bit of a longer meeting. So
What is it about?
one is an ag exemption appeal and the other one is
A variance
a,
of at Hitchcock.
yes, it's another front yard actually setback from Hitchcock. Hitchcock put had a company come in and put a solar array, and this solar array is 10 feet from the road.
Oh, Jesus.
And I've already told them that we did our measurements. I mean, it's right there. It's a huge structure that runs all the way. So, but it feels as though he can come in here with he sent a big packet of justifications for it, but
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Can I ask a quick question?
Second,
I'll get a letter or
all in favor,
something.
say aye.
Aye.
just one second.
Lena Jo, sure.
Hang on one second.
Yeah.
Wait till we're-
Who did it? Leaders?
Yeah.
And who seconded? Or did it?
I,
You did? Thank you.